Today we are going to be reloading 223 for the first time on the Dillon RL 550C, and that's coming up next year on Jesse B Outdoors Reloading. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. Well, I finally got everything to finally do 223 here on the Dillon RL 550C. Now what I did was I did not buy a conversion kit for 223. I already had a conversion kit for 380. 380 uses the same plate and the same pins as 223. So all I had to do was buy a powder funnel for 223, and I finally got the money to pick one up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reload 223 for the first time on here. So this video, I'm only going to do 50 rounds because I might go a little bit slower because it's my first time doing it. I've already done 50 rounds to get the dies and everything set up. So I think I got everything down packed, but I'm still going to check a couple of things during the middle of this video. So let's go ahead and bring the camera on in here and show you the components we're using today. Now let's go over the components we'll be using today. First off, we're going to be using Hodgdon H322 for powder. The reason why I'm using this is a local viewer graciously donated this to the channel for us to use, and I only do 223 for reloading, so I figured that's a perfect time to use this up. Now, I'm not going to give you the info on it. YouTube's been funny on it, but if you go through any reloading manual and even Hodgdon's website, you can find this load that I'm using. So it's something that's published, so I still don't want to say it, but it's nothing funny. Now what we got here is mixed range brass here. Actually, if you guys follow the channel and you saw where I did removing the military crimps using the RCBS Brass Boss Case Prep Center, these are the brass from that. I've actually had this brass for years. I cleaned it my old way, that's why they're not as shiny as they should be. I didn't do steel pins with these, but I finally got the crimps removed from them, and we're going to be using them in today's video. Then what we've got for primers, we're using CCI small rifle primers. I've had these for years also. The brick that this came out of, I probably paid 35 bucks for it, to tell you how long it was since I've had these primers. And then the bullets here, I got 100 pack of these from, I think it was Northeast Reloading. And they're just 55 grain Hornady bullets, nothing special. They are boat tail, but nothing special, just 55 grains. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I am going to do my normal here, even though this is in the way of my face here. I want you guys to focus down here. I am going to take the first one around, and I'm going to follow it like I'm normally reloading, but I am going to tell everybody what's going on and what dies I'm using, just in case there's any newbies watching. So these cases are deprimed already, and like I said, we knocked the military crimp out of them in that last video we did with this. So now we're going to put this in here. First station, we're going to go up, and you can see I have no dye in it because I already sized and everything off camera on my RCBS rock chucker. But we are going to come in, push forward to set the primer in there. So now what we're going to do is I've already got my pin removed from my powder station here. Yeah, you can see it here if I move this down here. Right here, I've got my RCBS Rangemaster 2000 or Range 2000 scale here, and we're going to zero this out. And we're going to double check our powder charge here to make sure it's what I want. Alright. So we got it right where I want it exactly. Let it settle. It says stable. It's right where we want it. Okay, we're good to go on that. So now we're going to act like I didn't even powder it. I dumped the powder. We're going to act like we just moved that into this station. Then we're going to put another one in number 1. And the one thing I got, you can see I got my KMS squared lighting on, so I can see down to see the powder charge in it. There will be a discount code down in the description for you guys, the KMS squared. So now we're going to come up, get our powder, push forward again to put the primer in that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and I got a Lee factory crimp die. On the powder station, I got Dillon because I'm using the Dillon powder measure. But now what we have is the Lee sizing and crimp die. I don't have it crimping or sizing. Lee seating and crimp die. And I don't have it crimping. I have it to seat the bullet. And that's how I got that set up. So now we're going to put our bullet in here. Then we're going to come over here and put another one in station 1. Come up and we're going to seat the bullet and come down and prime that bullet. And then what I'm going to do, just because I did just get this set up and everything, I want to make sure my case overall length is right. So we zero out our micrometer here. And once again, dead on to where I wanted to be. Beautiful. So now I'm going to set this back over here. Put my pin back in. And we are going to move to the station 4, which I've got a Lee factory crimp die. Now I'm putting these in the AR. I only have an AR right now. So I do like putting a small crimp on it for feeding, going up the feed ramps on an AR-15. A lot of people, if you're shooting it in a bullet action, they just go off a neck tension and they don't worry about it. So you saw I put another round in station 1, put another bullet in here. We're going to take it up and we're going to crimp that last round. Push forward to set the primer. And there we have our very first round of 223 on video for you guys right there. Now I've got my case gauge here. Always recommend a case gauge here for rifle rounds. Drop it down. You can see it's nice and flush there. Falls right out. So this should fit into any 223 chamber since it passes this case gauge. So now we're just going to keep on reloading here. So what I want to know from you guys is if you reload 223, leave a comment down below. I like to know what powders you guys use. Not only powders, what kind of bullets you guys use. Usually I try to use whatever I can get my hands on. Like I said, Northeast Reloading sent to me these a long time ago, these Hornadies. And I'm just finally getting around to them. I've got a bunch of Xtreme Bullets. Actually, the next video you see with this press doing 223, we are going to do some of the 223 out of the Xtreme Bullets Reloading kit. But there's plenty of other companies out there, so leave a comment down below on what you guys like using for bullets. For powder, so far, I've used CFE 223. You guys saw that in the RCBS Rock Checker video doing this. And then I've used the H322, which I've used in this video, and the Lee Classic Turret Press video. Now I also have H335. I've got 3 jars of that also. And like I said, I've had all of this for a long time. All these jars of powder I paid like 25 bucks for, just so you guys know. That's how long I've had this stuff, and I'm just finally getting around to doing 223. Like I said, I can thank RCBS for that by sending the, you can't see it over here, but the Brass Boss Case Prep Center. It made it easier for me to do stuff. And now my boy is getting older. He's getting into ARs, so now I want to get some 223 loaded up for him. So we're getting these loaded up. These are going to be probably the first rounds that we shoot. And then I got to shoot some of the Xtreme Bullets 223. Make sure everything's all good with that, because I got another 500 rounds of that to load up. But I can tell you guys right now, cutting the military crimps out of these primers are going in nice and smooth. And that's what I wanted to make sure of. That's why I wanted to do that original video, cutting the crimps out of these. Just to make sure that the cutter and everything's working right. I did do a shorts video of doing military crimps in 9mm, but I haven't had a chance to shoot those around or to reload those yet to see how good it was. So this is my first time reloading after using that machine to cut out the military crimps, and it does a mighty fine job. These primers are going in nice and smooth, and if you guys reload with different primers, you know CCIs sometimes ain't the smoothest ones to go in, but I like that. And now what I want to do, I just want to look again because I was talking. We got a powder charge in that. But what I'm going to do again, like I normally do when I do something I'm not used to doing, here in a few rounds, we will check the powder again just to make sure it's still on. I really like doing that with rifle because I'm not used to doing rifle. I'm nowhere near a max charge though, so I really don't have to worry about that. And good thing with rifle rounds, it's a good thing and a bad thing. If you double charge it, you're going to spill powder everywhere, so you're going to know you double charged it. But expensive as powder is nowadays, it sucks to lose all that powder. But you can see here, just like everything else on the Dillon RL 550C here, everything's going nice and smoothly. But yeah, if you guys don't know, if you do get one of these or any Dillon has a conversion chart on their website, and it tells you what pin numbers go with what plate numbers go with what. So you don't always have to spend the money to buy a whole conversion set like this one. This one does 380. It'll do 300 blackout, 223. All I got to do now, like if I start doing 300 blackout, if I get that, is I'll have to buy the powder funnel for that. And that's the only thing I got to buy for this. I'm trying to think of what else I did that way. Oh, it was 9mm. The one I got for 9mm. I bought the pins and the funnel so I could do 40 and 10mm because the plate's the same, if I remember right, on those. So definitely use that conversion chart because if I remember right, like 308 and I think 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm not all up on the bigger caliber rifle rounds, but I think they're like a parent case, so you can use the same plates on that. So use that conversion chart and save you guys money because these conversion charts or conversion kits are like 75 bucks. They're not cheap at all. So that's why I'm doing that, to save money, and I want to give you guys a little heads up. If you got one of these, you can do the same thing to save you guys some money. But I think what I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to go into quiet mode because I'm not doing as many rounds, and then we'll come back and double check the powder. Alright, before we get too far down here, what I'm going to do is get this ready to check the next one for the powder charge again. Take our pin out here, pull this out, set it on our RCBS scale over here. Stable, zero that puppy out. Now we're on 0. Go up and check our powder charge. Once again, push forward to seat our primer. Check our charge over here. We are dead on. That's one thing I can definitely say about the powder measure on my Dillon anyways. I know for the longest time they had issues with it, but they have definitely got it sorted out. This powder measure is like always dead on from my experience. I've actually had this for 1 year now, and I did do a 1-year review on it. I'll leave a card up above for you guys to check that out. And that's my favorite press to use now. In case you guys don't know, I do have a couple other presses. I have a Lee Classic Turret Press and a RCBS Rock Chucker Supreme. And it's nice to do single stage when you just want to kick back and relax and reload. Of course, the Lee Classic Turret Press speeds that up a little bit with every 4 pulls you get around. And then you move up to this. Oops. Primer's already down. And with this, every time, once you get every station filled, you got a round coming out and you gotta love it. Now, I am looking into, I'm going to talk to another company. I might get an actual full progressive press that auto indexes. If I get that, I'm only going to do 9mm and 223 on it because I'm not going to go through and buy all the plates and everything again. But if you guys don't know, I use the inline fabrication quick mount system. So it ain't nothing for me to swap presses out and everything. So I want to get an actual progressive press just to knock out 9mm because I do so much 9mm. And probably the same thing with 223, even though this is pretty good here. But also with the primers alarm sounding, that always means, at least with my press, that I got about 4 of them left. So we are knocking these 50 rounds out here pretty dang quickly. I got to the point now where I know this press, and I can feel when it don't see the primer, so I know when I'm out. Like right there, I can tell there's no primer in it. You can see right there, so I'm out of primers. Now what you could also do is peek down here and watch the arm come out down here where the primer arm comes out and see if there's one in the cup. You can also do that, just so you guys know. And no, I didn't drop another powder charge in there. I didn't raise it up high enough. So we'll knock this out here. And now we got our last round going through. Gotta love it. So as you guys can see here, 223 on the Dillon RL 550C. No problem at all. Yes, you can go a tad bit faster with an auto index one. But to me, after doing these on the RCBS Rock Chucker, then go into the Lee Classic Turret Press, it is a breath of fresh air to do it on this because I know I can knock the rounds out just a little bit quicker than I can on the rest. Now, if you can't afford something like this, I definitely recommend the Lee Classic Turret Press. They also have the Lee Value Press, and then they have the new turret press. I can't remember what they call that one, like the Ultimate Turret Press or something like that. Those are all great budget options if you want to try to knock out some 223 and you can't afford a progressive press. But as for the first time doing these on the Dillon RL 550C, huge thumbs up and really like it. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axil hearing protection, Gators eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some got discount codes to save you guys money. Others are affiliate accounts that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are One Nation Under God. And I'll see you all on the next one.